What's up everyone, today I have a very cool video for you guys. We're gonna be testing all the iPhones that have existed, starting from the iPhone 6 Plus, released in 2014, and all the way down to the first generation iPhone, released in 2007. Apple has released 10 different phones in 7 years, and we're about to discover which one is the best. So I have restored each phone to factory settings so they are completely empty and they are running on its latest supported iOS version. So we're going to be comparing all 10 different phones, and this means you're going to see a lot of hands on this video, so I do apologize for that in advance. Alright, so let's begin. We're going to start by doing a power on test. We're going to check out which phone takes the longest to power on. So we have pressed the power on button at exactly the same time, and you're going to be surprised to see which phone takes the least and the longest to power on. Now you have to keep in mind that the latest iPhones are running on a much heavier software. iOS 8 and iOS 7 will take more processing power to power on. However, they do have a more powerful processor, so the results are interesting. Very surprisingly, you will see that the iPhone 5s beats all the other phones by a huge advantage. A few seconds later, the iPhone 6 powers on, followed by the iPhone 5C. But what amazed me the most was that the first generation iPhone, released in 2007, beat the iPhone 6 Plus, released this year. So at this point, I wonder if Apple really put a strong processor on the iPhone 6 Plus. Then, the iPhone 4 and the 3G took very long to power on, but after a few seconds, the iPhone 4 finally powers on, and the last place goes to the iPhone 3G. So after waiting almost 50 seconds, the iPhone 3G finally boots up. Now we will find out which iPhone gets the fastest download speed using the speed test application. Unfortunately, for the first generation iPhone, this application was not available. Making this test was extremely hard since all iPhones have to share the same Wi-Fi connection. The iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5s kept trying to connect to the Wi-Fi network. Unfortunately, the test failed for those phones. The end results on this test are also very surprising. The fastest download speed goes to the iPhone 3GS and the fastest upload speed goes to the iPhone 5C. On the other hand, the iPhone with the slowest download speed was the iPhone 4S. Surprisingly, the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus haven't won any tests yet, so I'm wondering if Apple really improved something on these phones. In the following test, we will find out which iPhone takes the least time to load up a website. For this example, we're gonna open Safari and we're gonna go to my website unlockriver.com. Finally, the iPhone 6 Plus takes the win on this one, but it was not a big difference compared to the other phones. The rest of the phones were not that far behind, however, the first generation iPhone and the 3G took the longest. Up next, we will do the most important comparison. We're gonna test the speed and power of the processor, so we're gonna use the Geekbench application. Unfortunately, for the first generation iPhone and for the 3G, this application was not even supported. So we're gonna start every phone at exactly the same time. If you haven't heard about Geekbench, Geekbench will measure the raw processing power of every phone. This will tell you how fast a phone really is. In other words, it will tell you how fast your phone thinks. It's like the brain of the phone. If you wanna compare your device with these ones, I suggest you download this application. It is also available for Android users and it's a really cool way to see how fast your phone really is. The gold medal goes to the iPhone 6. It was the fastest phone to finish the test. In just a few seconds, the iPhone 6 Plus is next, followed by the iPhone 5s. Very surprisingly, there is very small difference between the iPhone 5s and the 6 and the 6 Plus. So in other words, the iPhone 5s is a very powerful phone. And based on this test, if you have an iPhone 5s, I wouldn't recommend upgrading to the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. They have very small differences in processing power and the phone is really good overall. The best thing would be to wait for a while because your iPhone 5s is still very powerful and is able to compete with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Now you will see that the iPhone 5 is slightly faster than the iPhone 5C. Something very interesting is that there is a huge difference between the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4S. Apple really did a good job on this upgrade. Then it took almost 5 minutes for the iPhone 4 to load and almost 7 minutes for the 3GS. But back to the point, the iPhone 6 is the fastest iPhone there is. Now it's time to see which phone is the lightest, so I'm gonna fast forward the camera to go through this a little faster. So to summarize, from 2007 and all the way to 2011, Apple kept more or less the same weights. However, from 2011 to 2012, we see the biggest change again. Apple significantly reduced the weight on the iPhone 5 compared to the iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4S was 140 grams and the iPhone 5 was only 112 grams. As mentioned previously, from 2011 to 2012, Apple has made the biggest change ever. So after weighting all the iPhones, the iPhone 6 Plus is the heaviest phone. This is due to the big screen. However, the lightest phone that there is the iPhone 5s and the iPhone 5. Now the last thing we did is a battery test. We played exactly the same movie at exactly the same time and left it running for hours. However, the winner is the iPhone 6 Plus. Surprisingly, the iPhone 6 Plus has the best battery life even though it has the largest display. So to conclude, I personally believe that the iPhone 6 is the best iPhone out there. I was a little disappointed on the performance of the iPhone 6 Plus. I thought it was gonna be a little faster than the iPhone 6. However, the iPhone 6 has proven to be the fastest iPhone so far. In other words, this is what Apple has been doing for the last 7 years. And if you would like to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. We upload videos every week. See you guys next time. Take care. Peace.